All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching Oshi no Season 1, Episode 4. Last time, Aqua and Kana are taking part in a little TV drama based off a manga. The adaptation doesn't seem like it's going too well. They're recording the finale, and it has a 1 star on whatever streaming service it was on, which is rough. I don't know how much they can do to salvage it at this point, but Aqua is going to do his best, I think, right? With his love of acting that I believe in. I believe in it, even if he doesn't. Other than that, he got the DNA sample from Kaburagi, I believe was his name, the director that he knows has some kind of connection to I because he was in her phone that he got the password to after trying 45,000 times. Yeah, other than that, Ruby, I don't know, haven't really started with like the Ruby idol stuff yet, but she's an idol technically. She's signed for an agency to be an idol. Is that enough? Is that all she needs to like be happy? Probably not, right? So, I'm interested to see where that will go as well. Okay, well, let's watch episode 4. Let's listen to this amazing opening yet again. You can line and copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I love this song so much. It's so good. It's so good. Make sure I have the right subs on. I do. Okay. Hmm. Still don't know her. Or her. She. No, both of them were in that little like ending sequence and the end of episode 1, weren't they? Interesting. It's gonna be another show where the main character, who's a guy, has no friends that are also guys. I guess that's how it is. I don't know. He is the Gotanda, that the director. Sure, sure. I guess that counts. More of a father figure, really, right? Oh, that's actually interesting to think about. How Aqua's so obsessed with like his finding his father when I don't know. I don't know. Sure is raining. It's a good atmosphere for it. Okay. I see. I see. Hmm. Lots of things you can't influence, right? But things you can play off of, right? Hmm. That's a good thunder sound. It's been raining like all day here, so I'm in the mood for it. Okay, okay. Ooh, can't even imagine. Must feel like you're transported to a different world, you know? Ooh, a fleeting eternity. Indeed. And how did that affect you today? The golden age? Oh god. Ooh. Yeah, she blames herself for it, right? Hmm. Ugh. And yet, oh, it has to be so sad though that it's doing horribly, right? Yeah. Ah, but it means so much to you. Oh, not too late. Just like how she feels that about herself, right? Like her own acting career, you know? Aw. Oh, so putting so much weight on your shoulders, though, right? Oh, but he's so bad, isn't he? Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh. And she is a fan of the manga, too. That makes it so much worse, right? Oh. Aqua. Ooh. Walking right through the puddles, huh? Maybe that's what we want. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. But it's... yeah. Interesting. Really using everything at his disposal, though, right? I, I literally, right. God, and the fact that he's playing the stalker is so interesting. Oh, right. So trying to get a rise out of him? It's to, like, make him, you know? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so smart. Oh, that's so good. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You can hear the difference in his voice, right? Oh, that's so good. Hmm. Interesting. The author's feelings. Ooh, it's all up to her, huh? He's like set the stage for her, right? Oh, oh God, he is really into it, huh? Oh, here his eye was like white in that shot. Ooh, oh God, he's so good. Oh, and that's the very thing she's trying to reject, you know? Oh, of course it'd be easy to cry now, right? Oh, oh, his eye, yeah. Of course. Especially, oh, it has to feel so meaningful to her, right? It all coming together like this, it feels so... Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Ooh, it made it better. It made it way better. Ah, I see. Threw himself into it. Emotion. Interesting. What if his, like, emotion is like what Aqua is, like, running away from in a way, you know? Well, that's fine. Yeah. Interesting. It just worked out. It just worked out. Oh, just lost in her thoughts. Just God. I just can't even imagine. Ooh, I see, I see. Right, right. Okay, okay. Hmm. It must feel so fulfilling, you know? Ooh, who is this? That's that's a really no, that's probably really good. That's probably a good thing to do. I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, this is the author of the manga. Right. Oh, okay. Of course, it's her own work, right? They were so disappointed. Oh, but what's she gonna think? Yeah, must feel so disrespectful, you know? Ooh, interesting. I'm sure, yeah. Like how fans get upset by it. Must be so much worse as the author for it to be disappointing. Yeah. Oh. Oh man. Oh my god. That's great. Oh, that's so good. Oh man, people like the last episode. People like the last scene. Thank God. At least, right? Oh, okay. 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 Yeah. But if you can make some fans of it happy, that's what it has to be all about. Okay. Okay. That makes me so happy. Good. Good. Oshi no sushi. Ah, I see. I see. Oh, wow, she is dressed up. God, she always goes to that. She always thinks about the weight on her shoulders involved in it. Oh, what a good way to sneak that in, huh? Oh, oh, don't come on. Oh, that has to. Yeah, of course. Oh, must feel so good, right? That recognition. Oh, I know. If only Aqua had been there the whole time, huh? Ooh, Kaburagi. What's up? Wonder if he's done the test. Okay, okay. It was just the producer, not the director. Okay, makes sense. Oh, wow. He was that close to I, huh? Ooh. Okay. Ooh, with a guy unbeknownst to the agency. You certainly could say that, yes. Ooh. Oh, something in return. Like, yeah, another job, huh? A reality dating show. God, right. How does that sound, huh? So that's the same scene from the end of episode one. Oh, yeah, because this is their first day at high school. Right, right, okay. Oh. Hmm. No one knows still, of course, that they were Ai's children, right? Like, there's no reason that would have ever come out, I guess. Ooh. Also Ruby. I'm sure. I bet they have problems with that, with all the, entertainment industry people here. I see. Ooh, Ruby needs to Ruby needs to get up in there with that click, huh? Interesting. Hmm. Oh, I love the music in this show so much. Sure. Oh god. Everyone must be so... God, like so many people have had media training here and stuff, I bet. It has to be so, like, so weird, you know? It's just like socializing. I guess. Sits in the protagonist seat. Right. She has very pink eyes and hair. Kotobuki Minami. Ah, she Googled her immediately. I said, whoa. Ah. Oh, okay. A vibe. I see. I was gonna say, like, what if her parents did that on purpose? Like, they talked like that around her to give her an accent? Because, like, I've heard, like, people doing that, you know? Especially if they intended for her to, like, go into this industry. Thank you, Ruby. I guess, if you say so. I love... uh, I love these two so much. Mm-hmm. It's a very sore subject. So will you. Thank you. I stole that line from Kana. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Ooh. And they walked in late, of course. Naturally, naturally. Ooh, oh. What eyes. Interesting. Shiranui Frill. She an actor? I see, I see. Must be awkward for her too, right? Must be so hard to have like a normal childhood. Oh, well, naturally. Yeah, sure. One of them's dead, and one of them isn't, so, yeah. Hmm. Ruby's little thing there. Oh god, he's just talking to her. She probably likes that. She'd probably enjoy if people just speak to her normally, right? Oh, her eyes are crazy, aren't they? Ah, kept coming up. Interesting. How does Aqua feel about that, huh? Also, she thinks it was good. So what do you mean? Yeah, Ruby, get in there. Ruby, get in there. Come on. Either you don't have anything to say. Oh no. Oh no. I, oh god. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no. Yeah. True, right? How many people do we need for an idol group? So, yeah. How embarrassing. Okay, okay. Hmm. Can we recruit Ruby's classmates? Like, I don't know. Sure, right? Oh, true. True. Yeah. Hmm. I guess that's kind of the issue, huh? Oh, we sure do know a freelancer, huh? Would she would she want to be an idol though? I don't know. I don't know. Would she want to be an idol? That was probably my favorite episode so far. That was so good. That was such a good episode. Damn. God, the this show is so good. I don't know. I love all of it. Huh. It all just comes together so well. Hmm. Like the way I just like the thing at the ending every time the ending like comes in and then it's so good. So good. Strings. Like, this is such an interesting shot because it makes you think like puppet strings on him, right? Which would make sense to me. But they're from below and they're pulling him down rather than it being like puppet strings from like above, right? That's how you would normally think of it. I don't know. It's interesting. Puppet strings almost from his previous life, you could say, maybe, right? His eye is what is above him in a way. So of course the puppet strings can come from there. I think him being like underwater makes sense. I don't know. There's lots of little lines from him this episode that I want to talk about. Like when he said, "I will always be his number one." I think that is so I think that says a lot about the way he views himself and the world. Okay, let's talk about the episode and the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Yeah, that was probably my favorite episode so far. That was so, that was so good. It was such a good episode. Something about this show, it just all feels like it comes together. Just all of it. I don't know, the music, the pacing, just everything. Something about it just feels so good. I don't know. It's great. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. Um, Man, several things that Aqua said in this episode that I need to remember to talk about. Like what he says here about I always being his number one or whatever. I don't know. Lots of interesting things to talk about. I guess we'll just go through it in order, right? Um, so we got to film the final scene of the manga, right? Which it has to be the fact that not only does Kana does this thing, right, where there's several lines, several just little like one-off lines in this episode too, where it just shows so much that she puts so much weight on her own shoulders. She feels like it's this personal responsibility that she has, both in terms of the success of her own career, the weight that she puts on herself. Like she literally says, it's all on us, the actors, to make everything go good in this kind of production, right? Which is very different than the way Aqua views it, right? Like the whole thing at the beginning here is it's not just Aqua's like literal acting ability that saves all of this. It is things that he does in a way, right? Like of course he uses all the tools at his disposal. He does all this stuff to make his performance on screen the best that it can be. So I guess in a sense that kind of goes along with what kind of says, but there's so many factors outside of that, right? There's the other actors, there's production, there's money, there's time, there's all of these things that go into what a production ends up like being like, so I don't know. It's interesting that Kana thinks of it in that way, I guess. We'll talk about it more in a minute here when we get to some of those lines. Ooh, it's raining. It's very good mood for it, right? The rain probably helped the scene a lot too in the show, right? Just like setting the atmosphere and all of that, you know? Yeah, yeah. Aqua like uses the puddles and stuff, right? I love this scene. I love every scene in this episode. The sound of the clapperboard booms and the cameras begin to turn. It must feel, I guess, like I just imagine it, right? I've never acted. I've never done anything like that I can really think of, but it must feel like this like transformation, that you're suddenly in a different world, that you have to you got to act now, right? You got to be, you have to transport yourself into that space, right? It just has to feel like such a I feel like I can imagine it despite never having done it myself, but it has to be so profound to experience that, as if a year's worth of time has been compressed. The time feels weighty and intense as it passes. It is a fleeting eternity, which seems to question life itself. I wonder if the author of this has ever acted himself, herself. I guess I don't know who the author of this is. But I don't know if they have ever acted uh to be able to like explain it like this, because it's despite I guess the fact I've never acted either. It feels like it rings so true to me, right? Or I can just imagine it. I feel like I can put myself in Kana's shoes here so much and like understand that feeling, right? Hearing it start, hearing the clapperboard boom, and then it's, a fleeting eternity which seems to question life itself. Yeah. My name is Arima Kana. When I was little, everyone showered me with attention and called me a prodigy, and what a god. That has to have such an effect on you, right? It's clearly had such an effect on Kana. I mean, it's like what do people call it? Like gifted kid syndrome or whatever, right? Where so many people as kids have like these, like early on in school or early on from like their parents, like they're told that they're super smart and super special and all of this, and then they like burn out later in life, right? Like they don't put in enough effort into stuff and stuff like that. So they start doing poorly, like academically, and then they like it's rough, right? You feel like you're not living up to all these expectations, and it may be because you had everyone showered you with attention and thought of you as a prodigy. You never learned how to put in that kind of effort and all of that, right? um Kana is kind of past that. If Kana had a phase like that, it's like she's past that now, because now she thinks it's all about effort, right? She says that. she says that in a moment, that she thinks part of the reason why her career might be failing now is because she might not be putting in enough effort, which I think just can't be true, right? I don't want to say at all, that there's something to be said about, like, yes, being able to take responsibility for your life and like the path that you're on and like mistakes you might have made and all of that, right? You are the only one who can like take control of your own life and like make decisions, most decisions that like impact you and stuff, right? So that's an important thing to like to recognize, but there are a lot of things that are outside of your control. You can't blame yourself for everything, So it's interesting, right? How it's like when she was a child, I doubt she thought that much about the effort she was putting in and all of that. She just thought like, oh, I'm really good at this, and everyone, I get all this attention and praise, and everybody thinks I'm so cool, right, for being good at acting. She grew up, the novelty of her being so young and so good at it wore off, right? Kind of like the same thing that Aqua said about his own acting, right? That it was only impressive in his mind, right? Because he was so young, and there's this disparity between his acting ability and how young he was. It was like that for Kana too, just different, right? But as she got older, I assume it's just the job stopped coming in because now she's not like special anymore. She's just a lot of people have had time to catch up to her through like this effort, probably, right, through hard work, all of that, that maybe she wasn't putting in as much, right, because she was kind of riding off of the success that she had, and it's like she's bounced back from that, I suppose, and is like on the opposite end now, where she tries so hard and does so much and thinks it still might just not be enough. Prima Kana's golden age. Like, what a sad thing to think of your childhood when you were like 8 as your golden age. I don't know whether it was a matter of talent, the whims of the public, or not putting in as much effort as I should have. Yeah, she blames herself for it so much. But anything and anyone inevitably loses popularity in time. Is that true? Maybe so, right? I guess it's true that you can't be famous and popular forever. Probably, right? What's interesting about her saying that, though, is I don't know if she thinks of it like that, right? Because if she thought if she thought that it was inevitable that she loses popularity and there's nothing she can do about it, why is she even trying so hard still now, right? Does she imagine herself to just be desperately trying to hold on to like the last dregs of it or something, right? Because if her attitude about it is like so doomer, like this, that it's inevitable and there's nothing she can do about it, then it's interesting that she seems so like strongly motivated now to try so hard and try to like claim some of it back, maybe to try and to remain in her place in a sense, right? These days, people online call me a has-been child actor. Before or after? What's wrong with this? My God, I like how she just looks the same, right? Like, how did this happen? The after pic is straight up bullying, right? Right? Like, what is wrong with this picture? There's some wind happening, I guess. Is that on like 4chan? Like, God. I was apparently already washed up before I even got out of grade school. What a horrible. Oh, God. And those must be comments that, like, she herself read, right? She probably looks up her own name all the time and reads what people say about her and all of that, and that must make it so much worse. She looks at these ants walking in a line like this. What do you think that says to her? Does she think of herself as an ant on this path that she can't control, maybe? Just she's fallen in line with everyone else. She's not special anymore. She's just another one of the ants, I guess. Washed up before I even got out of grade school. That has to be such a harsh, sad thing that so many people who are famous as like really young children think, right? But I diligently clung to this industry, and I finally landed a leading role. Yeah, she thinks it's because of her diligence, because of her her hard work and all of this that she's maintained here, that she's gotten this job, and it's not untrue, right? Of course, right? If she had just given up and decided, oh, it's over, right? I'll never be that famous again. Yeah, if she had just given up, then yeah, she wouldn't have this job. She wouldn't be doing any of this. She wouldn't be finding the meaning that she does through it for sure, right? I just think there's just certainly something kind of dangerous about the way she thinks about it, right? The how personally she takes it, I guess. How much like her own self-worth seems so tied up in how like the public perceives her and how many jobs she's getting and all of this. Which when it's been her whole life, like it's no wonder, right? I want to make the show good at all costs. And like this is what I mean. It's such a So much personal responsibility she's taking on for it when there's so many things outside of her control that she can't do anything about, right? But I guess it's just like that with her, she thinks this about the show, she thinks that about her acting career in general, right? Like, because in a way, that's all you can really do. All you can do is try your best, right? All you can do is try your hardest. You can't. Yeah, that's all you can really control. You can't control the things that are out of your control, right? I guess just the important thing is if it fails, if it doesn't go the way you want it to, you have to recognize if that's something that you should blame yourself for, if that's even a positive thing to do, or if it was the factors outside of your control, unfortunately. But I guess that's the problem is you can always tell yourself, like Kana could always just say, oh, what if I had just been better and done better and tried harder and all of this, right? Things surely would have been different. Because that's the only thing she can control in some way is her own actions. Yeah, yeah, but I guess it's just like life in general is kind of just like one of these stage productions. There's all of these things, all of these factors massively outside of your control that you can't influence. And I guess it's frustrating to like recognize that, or maybe it's just not even it's probably not a good thing to even think about that too much because they are things outside of your control. But I guess it's just when it's a matter of whether or not you should beat yourself up over something. That is when it should be there certainly be a factor that you should think about, right? Pretty crappy production. No one here has any acting fundamentals. The first 4 episodes have already been released, and nearly all the viewers are disappointed. Oh, God. It's so sad. What are these episode titles? A Girl with a Sad Past. The Transfer Student is a Mean Hot Guy. What a beautiful. Badump Badump. The Sports Day full of good looking guys. S- School Open Day has a scent of danger. uh, I bet these are like chapter titles from the manga or something, so I don't want to be too mean about them. They're probably, apparently the manga's secretly really good, so. They're branding it a flop. All the manga readers have to be so disappointed. This is the manga's most famous scene. It's the showdown between the protagonist and a stalker. A love-starved girl is protected by someone for the first time, and she breaks into tears of joy. A love-starved girl is protected by someone for the first time. That's very interesting. Because I feel like obviously, this whole scene with Aqua being the stalker, and this whole scene that plays out, and what he says to Kana, and the way she takes it and everything, right? It's very much reflective of like her situation in real life and the way she feels and all of this. I think Aqua being the stalker has some interesting meaning you could probably take from it, right? So could you describe Kana as a love-starved girl being protected by someone for the first time? Like kinda, right? Love-starved maybe in terms of like the way she thinks of herself and like, the she doesn't get the attention and the recognition that she craves so badly, right? And all of this. And she's protected in a way by Aqua in this scene, in a sense, right? He kind of protects her from like this scene failing. You know what I mean? Like you could almost say, because of course, if the scene failed and if it wasn't good and all of that, of course, Kana would blame herself and she would say, she takes personal responsibility for it and all of this. So yeah, Aqua kind of protects her in a sense by being in there with it. In there for it with her, you know what I mean? He takes some of that burden onto himself, and they get it done. This part of the manga always gets me. No matter how many times I read it, I still love it. This makes it so much worse. This makes it so much worse that the show has been bad. The fact that Kana herself is also such a big fan of the manga, right? Because it must feel so, oh God. I can't even imagine it, right? To be the actor who gets to portray the main character of this manga that you've been a fan of that you're this all this time that's so emotionally meaningful to you, right? And then it's God, it must feel so important, and then it goes horribly. Like it's so sad. But at least they get this scene. At least they get this scene down, right? If I can synchronize with my co-star, make him look good, and turn in the best performance ever, yeah, if I can just do everything by myself entirely, then surely there's still a chance, right? And she tries, but this Melt guy is just not. He's not with it. He is not with it. Why is the chief director and everyone else okay with this performance? Yeah, yeah. It's just ruined, right? Man. But Aqua puts on his performance. He walks through the puddles, creates like a nice ambiance with that, I suppose. He really takes control of it. He does all of these little things to really try and You know, it's interesting because this feels like a it's different because in like this movie he was in like the first episode, right? It was all about Aqua doing what he thought the director wanted, right? Trying to fulfill the director's vision as much as possible. In this scene, Aqua doesn't really do that. That it seems like the directors just like don't care, right? Like that's what Kana was just thinking, right? Do they just not give a shit about the acting at all? So Aqua takes all this into his own hands, right? Like the the people filming consider like stopping it and starting over and all of this, because of what Aqua's doing right now. So it's very much not that he's going along with like the director's like vision for the scene, right? Because they just don't care about the acting, right? It's almost like Aqua's own. It's Aqua's own motivation. It's Aqua's own drive to make the scene good, right? He's a fan of the manga too, right? He doesn't want this to be terrible, right? For Kana as well. It's meaningful for her, of course. That has to be part of why he's so like driven to do this. So I think that is a very interesting difference, right? It's the fact that right now this is being done through his own will, his own like drive, compared to the way he thought about his acting before. I don't really know what to say about that. Does that in some way relate to the way Aqua like lives his life now, the way he thinks about himself? Taking responsibility on his own shoulders as well. Like maybe, right? Maybe. I love his eyes during this scene. This girl isn't the kind of person you think she is. She's simply not compatible with a shallow playboy like you. Yeah, his acting is doing great, right? It's the vibes and the everything. I don't have talent the way I did. What is talent anyway? I don't have an aura that keeps viewers' eyes glued to me. In this scene, you sure do. And I'm not good at acting, which is why I'll use all the tools at my disposal. Right, right. Props, the cameras, the lighting, the actors. I mean, who's to say that I didn't do that same thing, right? Who's to say that that isn't how you know, when we were in Ai's head a few times in episode 1, she thought about how, like, everything down to her smile is, like, perfectly calculated and all of this, right? I'm sure I thought and did the same things that Aqua is doing right now. you know? I just don't believe that there's some kind of miraculous magical talent that exists that allowed I to be perfect and amazing. That it's impossible for Aqua to like tap into. you know? He has the eye. He has the eye. And he taunts Milt to really get him riled up, get some real acting out of him. Oh, I love that shot of his eye. Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. Hmm. That girl is a precious friend to me. Just like the manga. Oh, it's so good. So good. This is a famous scene in the manga. The directorial intent, composition, tempo. There's meaning behind all of it. I'm sure. I'm sure, right? God, that's something I always thought about too, is in manga like that. It has to be so there has to be so much that goes into like the pacing and the panel composition, the page composition, everything, right? That has to be so hard to like grasp and understand. Where I feel like it's easier, maybe not easier, but maybe from a viewer's perspective, it's probably easier to like comprehend those things in like a movie and like something like that, because it's just, I don't know, it's different, right? I think it's at least it's more understandable to me, at least, right? We're in a manga, and it's just a whole different world. I feel like. I've long excelled at questions that ask me to think about the author's feelings. Interesting. If I can properly grasp a masterpiece, I can receive passing marks. That's such an interesting question for Aqua to be thinking about right now. The author's feelings. It's so meta, right? What are the author's feelings in the show we're watching right now? God, I don't know, right? What are there's so many ways you can interpret this, I feel like, right? The fact that Aqua excels at it is very interesting, right? The fact that he's able to understand other people so well, right? Because that's really what it is, I think, right? Being able to really like have really like good like media literacy like that, right? I guess that's kind of to me that's kind of like what it means, right? Is be able to understand like what the author is trying to say with something. Um, I think it requires like a high degree of like empathy, and like you have to put yourself in the shoes of like the person writing it and try and think, okay, what were they thinking when they wrote this scene, right? When the scene didn't exist yet, what was the purpose behind them making this scene? What does it achieve in the story, the message they're trying to get across, that kind of thing, right? And Aqua really excels at that, which requires that high degree of like empathy and understanding of other people, which is very interesting considering it feels like he is so unable to understand it's himself, you know what I mean? Like he's so unable to tap into his own desires and his own, you know, it feels like he's unable to understand I, right? It feels like he's unable to understand a lot of things. And I guess maybe that's because all of those things are so personally important to him. They're so personally, emotionally important, and that obscures, like in the real world, people don't typically, analyze the the thoughts and feelings of the people around them in the same way that you would like think analytically about like a about a story. So I guess it just makes sense, right? But I don't know. Set the stage for you. Isn't this the chance you've been looking for? Give it your all. Oh, I love her. The face. Nothing you can do will make a difference. The lead actress's tears are the highlight of the scene, and she's good at it, right? He licks this knife like God. Make that aspect shine brightly. I'll supply the darkness. This is such an interesting line from Aqua, because it's like, it's how he thinks, right? It's how he thinks. He thinks about like that he shouldn't be the one to like shine, that he shouldn't be the one like in the spotlight, that he should let other people like shine in that way. That's really how he thinks about himself and like his own acting ability and everything, right? And also the idea of Aqua being the one to supply the darkness. I mean, it just makes me think about like what he's doing in his life in general, the way he's approaching, this whole revenge scheme and all of this. Oh, God. Punches him. I'll be frightening, disgusting. Yeah, like those lines too, right? Like saying he'll be frightening and disgusting, all of this, right? It's just like the way it feels like the way he acts in general, right? It's like what Ruby said in like episode 2 about how he's changed so much since I died, right? Um, I just can't get it out of my head the idea that it feels like Aqua is in a way acting at all times. He's supplying the darkness. He's being frightening and disgusting and all of this. But I guess the question is just like, who is he acting for? Himself, right? Is this what he expects of himself? The way after he went through this horrible traumatizing stuff with I and all of this. And it's like he thinks he doesn't even deserve this life that he has now. Is this how he thinks that he should be acting, right? That he should be he has to go on this revenge for that purpose, that he expects it just purely of himself, right? That it's almost like not even, oh God, it's almost like his the version of him as a doctor, right, from his previous life. It's like that is what he, as the doctor, would expect of Aqua, the new him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There's not a single person who needs you. Know your place in this world. Get your head out of the clouds. These are all obviously very relevant lines to like Kana and her whole thing, right? Like this is almost like what she feels like the outside world could be telling her, right? That she, all these comments online tell her that she's pointless and washed up and useless now. No one needs her, right? She just has her head in the clouds. Um, yeah, you have no future, right? No future in the acting industry, no future doing what you're trying to do. Your life is nothing but pitch black darkness. And it's also, obviously, this also just all says something about Aqua, right? Like, this is also, like, how Aqua feels about his life and his future, right? No, this is my favorite scene of the show so far, for sure. Absolutely, right? It's so good. Um, because Aqua thinks all of this too, right? Like, your life is nothing but pitch black darkness. What was he just saying about himself? That he supplies the darkness, that he will be frightening and disgusting and all of this, right? That is how he views his life ever since I died. He can't imagine, right? Like when I died and he was looking at her and he blinked and the star went out, right? Yeah, it's like he's been in pitch black darkness ever since then. That's how he feels as well, right? Man, him. Oh, I also want to talk about, because we didn't really talk about it. Him playing the stalker is also very interesting in this scene. Because I guess what it makes me think is it draws these parallels in a way between him and the stalker, right? That like killed I, right? What does that mean, right? What connection can you make between like Aqua now and that stalker, right? I guess maybe like the obsession, right? The way that he is letting his life be entirely defined by I and everything, right? That he can't live his own life. It's entirely, it's all just about I, right? It's like in a sense you can kind of relate it to that idea of like being a stalker, the obsession and all of that. That's kind of what I get from it, I suppose. Also, just I don't know, just the path his life is leading him down in that way, right? And Kana has an answer for us. And now the finishing touches. Arima Kana just needs to put on a show with her crying. Even so, there'll always be light. Can Kana be that light for Aqua? Well, Aqua wants to provide the darkness, which certainly isn't what Kana needs, right? Kana definitely has a better outlook. If Kana has a better outlook on this, right? If Aqua and Kana are similar, right, in terms of this, they're imagining their future to be nothing but darkness, right? Aqua is much further down that path, I think, than Kana is, right? Kana tries so hard, she puts in so much effort, she believes that she can change it. Well, Aqua rejects the idea that it could be any different, right? He rejects like living his life normally at all, like it's entirely, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Oh, but I love this, right? When you see the light in his eye. I also want to go back. I think it's when he lunges at her with the knife. There's like a frame here, I think, where his eye is like light. You can kind of see it already, right? But I think yeah, he's enjoying it, right? He is enjoying it. Come on, he loves acting. God. I mean, it goes right back to being dark, but yeah, yeah. I mean, he really puts on like the show of a lifetime, huh? There will always be light. Oh, right, that's her specialty. It has to be so easy to cry right now, though, right? After seeing this, it has to feel so like she must have this recognition. Oh my God, this scene was so good, right? It all worked out, right? That there will always be light. And maybe in this moment, right? What's interesting to me, Aqua said all this stuff about supplying the darkness, all of this, right? She looks at him and says there'll always be light. What Aqua is doing in this scene is providing that light for her, right? Like we cut to his face. There's all the harsh light on his face right now, the light in his eye, all of this. They're very much supplying that light for each other right now, right? Aqua is being that light for her, right? Like, he said he would be the darkness to allow her to shine, but really, he's being a light for her as well. He's being a light in that darkness, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so good. Man, no, such a good scene. Such a good scene. Oh my god. Yeah, Aqua jumped into his punch. When it comes to acting, nothing beats emotions after all. And it's so interesting that Aqua can say that, right? Because feels like the way Aqua acts all the time, his very like cold, kind of withdrawn demeanor. It feels so withdrawn from emotions, and so that he's able to recognize that in acting. But in like his life, he shuts it down so much, right? Like I wonder if he's ever like talked to Ruby about I and like their mother's death and all of this, right? Have they ever had like a heart to heart about it or anything, right? Or has Aqua just been completely withdrawn and just like this since her death? I don't know. I don't know. Thanks to that, it seems Arima was able to pull out all the stops. Yeah. They gotta make a bunch of adjustments, but yeah, I guess that's how it works. I guess that's how it works. She's really lost in her head. The final scene, the face of a maiden who fell in love with the protagonist. It's gotta be easy to do, huh? Interesting. Except she's fallen in love with the Stalker, so I mean, come on. In that sense, I don't know. It's kind of like in terms of like an actual like relationship for Aqua, he's not ready for that in any way at all, right? I would get this horrible, awful, foreboding feeling if I guess I kind of already do at the idea of Kana wanting to like pursue Aqua romantically because he is not there. He is not ready for that, right? Not like I don't know, right? Maybe it could be part of like the process of like healing and helping him, but that would be a big burden to like take on right now, right? He needs to make some progress. Anyway, here's the author of the manga. I guess this is typical mangaka things, right? You got to work 50 hours a day. So yeah, you got to sleep on the floor. So you only sleep for 4 hours. That's really great. That's really awesome. I'm so glad that the authors of like all of my favorite works ever get to live like this where they their life is horrible and they write forever and they're like a slave. That makes me really happy. That's really great, right? Like, God, like Berserk, right? Like, man, I guess I won't spoil Berserk. I'll try not to talk about it too much. But like, one of my favorite mangas ever. I read it a long time ago. And just like the stories of the hours and the work that like Mira would put in back in like the old days when like Berserk was like getting chapters very often, right? When it was like serialized. Um, it was like crazy, right? Especially with how detailed like all the drawings and stuff were. Some of those like double page spreads in Berserk are insane, you know. No, it's awful, right? It's crazy. The fact that anyone makes like weekly manga, right? Where they make a chapter every single week. Like I literally cannot imagine that. How your entire life just has to be drawing and that's it. Like you can't do anything else, right? Insane, right? It is inhumane, you know. She's got some assistance, at least. She does have some assistance, which is good, right? Makes me think of Look Back too, right? All that kind of stuff, you know. And she watches the episode, which for the author of the manga, it has to be even so much more significant even than like a fan watching it and being disappointed with the adaptation. For the author, I can't even imagine, right? How sad, how just the overwhelming sadness you have to feel if it's like disappointing and bad, right? Like the feeling I would get of like, oh, all of these people are probably seeing this show for the first time. This is their first exposure to my work, right? They haven't read the manga before. And this is it's this awful, right? This is what people are gonna think of my work, you know? I would hate that so much, you know? Yeah, it feels like such a mockery. It has to be so frustrating. Oh, God. She's really on Twitter light mode. Like, girl, you stare at screens all day. You need dark mode. You need like blue light glasses or something. Like, God, or like a filter, just like an app on your PC or something, right? Like, come on. Let me read this line. Let me read this line. Sorry. They're adapting a fully completed manga with no prospect of a sequel. I'm grateful enough for this development. I'm sure there has to be part of it. There has to be part of yourself that feels glad that it gets that in the first place, right? Everyone who's had their manga adapted into something told me not to get my hopes up. I'm sure, right? Like everything I've ever read or watched that had a manga, and then I like watched like the adaptation of it or something. I'm always disappointed, right? I'm always because they always cut stuff out. They always leave things out. It's always it's never as good as I want it to be. I just go back to Berserk, right? Obviously, everyone loves like the original Berserk anime, right? And it's good. It's good. It's just I read the manga first, and going back to watch it cuts out so much stuff. It makes me so sad, right? There's so many things it cuts out, you know. And I just can't imagine being the actual author of it, how that could feel, you know. At first, they were full of hope. They'd imagined this or that with a big smile on their face. But by the end, their faces would sour. Not what you imagined. Yeah, how it goes with adaptations to other media. Because it has to be so hard in the first place as an author to like get the idea from in your head, like the story and the scenes and all of this in your head onto the page, onto the manga in the first place, right? And then for it to get it to another level of abstraction after that, be adapted from the manga to another thing, it's just going to lose even more detail in all of this, you know? But she likes the last scene, and that's what really matters, right? Ah, man. People like it. People like it, right? Most of the viewers had already dropped the show, and only the hardcore fans of the manga and actors continued watching. Final episode of Sweet Today didn't go viral or become a hot topic of conversation. God, let me read some of these. Let me read some of these. Melt really came to life in that scene. Maybe maybe he really can transition to acting. Maybe. Was the terrible acting up till now on purpose? The disparity is huge and really left an impact. I wonder how big of a deal Aqua seems to all these people, you know? Final episode is a masterpiece. Thank God. Thank God. Both in certain smaller circles, it garnered passionate praise. And that's all you can really hope for, right? That's good. That's good. Oshi no Sushi. This is a Monogatari reference. That's definitely not. The title of the episode, the title of the anime is Oshi no Ko, right? So Oshi no Sushi. Yeah, yeah. Because that's very much like the same. Like Oshinoko kind of means like, I don't like know how to translate it, but I like kind of understand what it means. It's like the whole like person who like supports you, kind of, right? Like that's kind of the I imagine in Monogatari that's probably like kind of like the meaning, like behind like Oshino's name as well. Certainly makes sense to me, right? I guess don't want to talk too much about it. An entirely different show, but it makes sense to me if that's kind of like a similar thing, right? Kana is all dressed up. Man, seeing everyone gathered here reminds me of just how many people are involved in the project. Lots of people's jobs are writing on our performances, right? Like how differently they both see this, right? Like Aqua is thinking about how all these people are involved, and almost maybe how small he is in comparison to it. But Kana takes it as all these people's jobs are writing on their performances, right? She always takes it like that. It's always this weight that she feels, this burden on herself that she has to pick up, that she has to do well with for other people's sakes. Yeah. We need to produce results and absolutely can't be involved in any scandal. She sneaks this in so well. She does such a good job. On that note, do you have a girlfriend or anything? Yeah, yeah. And here's the mangaka. Is your performance that carried the show. That has to feel so good to hear. Thank you. She thanks her. Oh, I love it. I love it. Aqua must be happy too. Aqua was a fan of the manga too, right? He must be really happy about it, right? Has to feel so fulfilling. Has to feel so meaningful. Here's Kaburagi, who comes up and talks to Aqua. So we have Aqua has done the DNA test and has, determined that this guy is not his father. 0.0000006%. I certainly not, right? But Kaburagi here really has quite the relationship with Ai. He knew her well enough to recognize her face in Aqua's, right? He saw her quite a bit. Oh man. And so we make a little deal here where Kaburagi yeah, I mean Kaburagi knows so much, right? A guy unbeknownst to her agency. That is quite the connection, huh? Aqua has gotten quite lucky here, huh? But yeah, we make a little deal here. Kaburagi wants Aqua to be in a reality dating show. Like, what the hell are we talking about? Like that is gonna be a train wreck, right? Like Aqua is not fit for that. Maybe I'm being mean. Maybe he is. Maybe he'll do great. But like that just sounds disastrous. Um, but he has to do it. He has to do it, of course, right? It's for I, right? God, I think it's funny how he tells himself that what he's doing, seeking this revenge on their father, has nothing to do with like I's wish for him, right? He doesn't care about fulfilling I's wish for him to be an actor, and yet in pursuit of this revenge and all of this that he's doing for himself, really, is fulfilling what I would have wanted for him, which is to be an actor, right? The more important thing, though, of course, would be for him to like find fulfillment and actual enjoyment in it, which I guess he's doing that too, right? He is kind of really, truly is fulfilling I's wish, right? Because he is finding meaning and fulfillment in it, right? That little smile at the mangaka, yeah, yeah. We're back here to this first scene from yeah, after the time skip, because yeah, this is of course after they've gotten into the high school, right? So we are at the high school. It's a very fancy place. It must be so stressful, right? All of these people, so many people here must have media training, and they must all be so, I don't know, good at socializing. It's probably hard. It's probably rough. It would be a nightmare for me to go to this high school. Like, God. But Kana has rehearsed her introduction for both of them, I'm sure. Points out all these people. Ruby needs to get in on this clique with all the leading idol group people, like for sure. A voice actor and streamer, fashion model and singer, the kabuki performer and actress. Jesus. So many people. Man. World of show business. I love the fact that they have the eyes on like opposite ends. They each got one, I suppose. They got different parts of eye within them in a way. God, that really is interesting too. How it feels like Ruby feels like the part of eye that Ruby got feels like the bubbly positivity, all of that, right? Like that that external part of her almost. Certainly not that it was all fake for I, right? Whereas Aqua has all this like darkness and stuff within him, which feels so reminiscent of the way I thought of herself and all that, all that stuff about lies and all of that, Yeah, yeah, it really is like these two very important parts of I as a person is very much passed down to them in a way, right? Act like you normally would, but it's got to be hard. Everyone's famous. Everyone's hot and beautiful. Oh god. Oh god. I won't let this place overwhelm me. She sits in the protagonist seat. Very nice. Very nice. And we meet. God, what was her name again? She's very pink. She's very pink. Kotobuki Minami. She's incredibly pink. She Googles her immediately, right? Ruby, you've really got to break that. You got to break that habit. Probably. I don't think people will like it if you Google them immediately with every single new person you meet at school. Her Kansai accent is just fake. That's great. That's great. I really wondered when they brought this up. It just kind of jumped in my mind right away. Like some people like do that as like a crazy thing to like I don't know. I think of it as like a rich person thing to do to like specifically speak in like a I don't know like a British accent around your child to try and give them a British accent. To I don't know. I've heard like stories of people doing that. Especially like if they wanted their child to specifically go into like the entertainment industry, try and give them some kind of like edge, some kind of unique thing. Yeah, yeah. But no, she just does it. It's just a vibe. Has Aqua made any friends? No, he didn't come here to make friends. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love how Ruby just sees right through him. That's what he needs, right? He does indeed have a lot to say. It's sad we can't have Minami be one of our idols, but oh well, oh well. She's already taken. You're in a special environment. It's different to what you're used to. I suppose. I suppose. As if you aren't Aqua, frankly. Like, what are you talking about? And she steals that line from Kana. So we talk about this one amazing student who's like, I don't know, she's real big. She has crazy eyes, right? Look at these eyes. Man, like the colors in them. Looks like snake eyes almost. Like the way all the green coloration makes me think of that too, right? Shiranui Frill. I see. Ruby is really starstruck. She does, yeah, she has a 9 p.m. Monday TV show. She can sing, dance, and act. She's Michael Jackson. I don't know. She's real big. She's my number one fave right now. And then Aqua's response to that is my favorite always was and always will be I, which I think, God, that feels so like emblematic of the way that Aqua thinks about his life and everything, right? That he can't move on, right? That his number one always has to be I, right? He thinks that's like that's his whole life, right? He's unable to live his life. He's unable to like process what happened to I and all of this. He's unable to move on. Yeah, his number one in his mind always has to be I, right? It can't be anything but that. He's so trapped by it. Yeah, it literally is different. I agree with Ruby. I absolutely. Because Ruby engages with it in such a different way, right? Like she's able to live her life. So Aqua just walks right up to her and talks, which probably it's probably enjoyable for her to have someone just speak to her normally, right? Like it must be so hard as like a high school student to be this ridiculously famous if she's really this famous, right? Like it has to be impossible to have normal relationships, to just have a normal life and that kind of thing. It would probably feel very just nice to just have like people treat you normally instead of as like someone famous, right? She recognized him from Sweet Today. Kept coming up at one of my jobs, so I watched it. It was good. She really thinks it was good. I guess, I suppose, if you say so. Maybe the last scene was good, but I don't know. I don't know. She recognizes her too. But Ruby, unfortunately, has nothing yet. She really needs to. She needs to be an idol ASAP. Everyone's gonna make fun of her. Everyone's gonna bully her. It's so over. It's so over. Hmm. And yeah, it feels like people who would already be motivated and all of that are probably, yeah, they're probably already involved. It's like then you would have to, try and one up their contract or something to get them to sign with you. It'd be so hard, right? But we do know one freelancer. We do know one freelancer. On top of being a freelancer, she doesn't have much work considering how well known she is. Plus, she's cute. Rima Kana, which would she want to be an idol? Is that she wants to be an actor, right? Would she want to be an idol? I don't know, right? I wonder. I wonder. Maybe, maybe. I just wonder how that will go. I don't know. Would she think of that as like giving up, right? If she tried to be an idol instead of an actor, I feel that's just such a different thing, It's such a different thing. So I wonder if that's gonna work out or not. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I guess we'll see. Because that is the end of the episode. Actors. What a good episode. What a good episode. Yeah, I suppose that is it. So, if you enjoy my videos, please leave a comment, tell me what you think, subscribe, maybe, and I will see you in the next one.